couple things you need to know when assembling with pocket holes. Number one, you'll need a cordless drill driver, a drive bit, and screws. So know your settings on your cordless drill driver. First off, speed. When starting out, keep it on 1 so you're having more control while driving your screw. Number two, know your direction. Just like electric drills, cordless drill drivers have directions, so you can see the little arrow that's pointing backwards towards me. So when I push it in that way, it's in reverse. On the other side, arrow going away. When I push it down, it's in forward. I'm going to load the bit, and I'll show you the last setting. When you're loading your bit, make sure that you're keeping plenty of length of the bit. If you don't have a long enough bit, when you are working with an angled hole, you're going to run into problems with the driver hitting the side of the board, and you can't keep the angle that you need. So I'm going to hold the bit as well as hold on to this part here so it locks in. And once you get it started, you can put your full hand on that. And I'm going to notice how it ratchets. Okay, this is on a 1. I'm going to turn it all the way to drill to tighten up my bit. Okay, so now that's locked on there. It's not going to slip off. And then I'm going to turn it back down. Turn it way back down to 7, and I'll show you how this affects your ability to drive the screw. So we're going to go ahead and drive the screw just into the location where the board is right now. I mentioned with screws, thread diameter controls how difficult it may be to what setting you may need the ratchet on. Thread diameter will affect that. But also with the screws, make sure you know what length you're working with. You can see there's different lengths here. So the shorter screw, there's a longer screw, use whenever you can. Shorter screw you may want to use if you're concerned about going all the way through a board. So let's go ahead and drive this in there. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping everything at the right angle. I'm putting lots of pressure down. I don't want my drive bit to be at an angle with the screw, because then it's going to slip off the head. Lots of pressure down is important. The ratcheting feature will control when my screw stops. See, now right there it started to ratchet, so it stopped spinning, but take a look. Okay, 1, we have a gap between our boards, and 2, you can see the screw head there. I can actually pull up this board because it did not get tight all the way. So it stopped spinning, but that doesn't mean it's tight. So always make sure it's tight. Now I'm going to turn up the ratcheting feature up to 10. See if that's enough. It's still ratcheting. So I'm actually going to turn it all the way up to 20 because I'm pretty sure that should do it. Now I'm putting lots of pressure down. Do not let it slip off there. You'll feel the screw slipping on the head. Then you're ruining the bit and you're ruining the screw. So please don't do that. So now it's nice and tight in there. It's all the way to the bottom. And you can see there's no gap here at all. So that is that. And one last thing I'd like to show you is what if, because here I just attach these two just as an example, but what if you want this board tight to here? Many people will struggle with this concept. I want this surface flush with this edge. So how do I do that? You're working with an angled hole, so naturally it's going to want to push the direction that you're driving the screw. So if I'm pushing this way, this board is going to want to move that way when it pulls tight. So always leave a little bit of lip. So just right here, leave a little lip, probably less than a 1/16 when you're driving the screw. And then if you do that, we can keep it flush. So I'm going to turn this while I work here. Set it back just a little bit. And now, because I did that, it's not overlapping here, it's nice and flush. So if I were to try and line it up to start with and then start driving the screw at this angle, it's going to take this board and push it past that way. So always leave a little lip if you want it to be flush in the end. So that's a couple tips on assembling with pocket screws.